Good morning, students. Today I shall be starting with your sonnet that is on his 23rd birthday, written by John Milton. Now, students, this sonnet was written somewhere in 1632 when Milton had just completed his graduation from Cambridge University. Now, see, as the title is on his 23rd birthday. Naturally, because Milton has completed 23 years of his life, so he is thinking of 24th birthday also. So here, because he's a youngster, he's a youngster, so he, in a sense of he doesn't feel very happy about it. He feels a sense of loss that because I am a writer, I am a poet. So by the age of 23, I have not written much as a writer, as a poet. So my creativity, that has not advanced so much. So he has that regret. Okay. So as you already know, sonnet, it comprises 14 lines. The first 8 lines where the matter is being introduced, so that is the octave part in the Petrarchan style, and the remaining 6 lines are sestet, where he comes to the conclusion. Okay, so now I'll just read out the sonnet for you. How soon hath time, the subtle thief of youth, stolen on his wing my 3 and 20th year. So he calls time, he personifies time, and he calls time to be a very subtle thief of youth. So it's time is very clever, time is very powerful. So it has very soon, just like a bird who flies swiftly, spreading its wings. So it has stolen my 23 years. Now you will find that this particular poem is very rich in metaphors and symbols, and you find so many figures of speech. My hasting days fly on with full career, but my late spring no bud or blossom showeth. Now this is what I was telling you. Actually, he is, very happy about his 23 years of life, because as a youth, he is much concerned about his, what you say, potential, what I have done. Because generally the youngsters at the age of 20, 23, they are much concerned about their career, about their achievements. So he is saying that very soon my years have flown away. So in my late spring there are no buds or there are no blossoms, because that stands for the creativity that he hasn't. It is symbolic in nature that I haven't done much. This is what he's trying to say. But now see, what does he say? Perhaps my semblance might deceive the truth that I to manhood am arrived so near. So he is talking about his physical appearance. He says, though I have reached age of 23, but I look like a young boy, not very mature. So but he says, an inward ripeness doth much less appear. But he is not much concerned about, his external appearance. But he says, what I am more bothered about is my inward ripeness. That is my inner knowledge. Okay. So that is what I am much concerned about, because that doesn't appear much to me, that some more timely happy spirits endure. So here again, now what you will find, he gives lot of importance to time, because time is invincible. So this is what, so he says, maybe with time I will achieve that also. Yet now be it less or more, two contradictory images, paradoxical images, soon or slow, it shall be still in strictish measure even. So he says, I expect, I have that patience, that maybe in future, that balance will be there. To that same lot, however mean or high, toward which time leads me and the will of heaven. So when you talk about the theme of this particular sonnet, you have to emphasize more on time, that how time, time is invincible, time is very powerful. But he again says, I can win over everything with my patience. So, toward which time leads me, and the will of heaven is the will of God. All is, if I have grace to use it so, as ever in my great taskmaster's eye. As in the earlier sonnet on his blindness, you had read that most of the sonnets, actually, if you will find most of the sonnets, they have the theme of love, friendship. But generally, the sonnets which are written by John Milton, they are religious in nature, spiritual in nature. And when you had read on his blindness, so there also he had a lot of he had a lot of faith in God's will. Here again, see, he gives more emphasis that whatever will is the heaven's will, whatever is the will of God. So, and whatever is there in my great taskmaster's eye, so I will accept it happily and wholeheartedly. So, this is the interpretation of your sonnet. So, what I want you to do is that you have to make a note on the figures of speech which have been beautifully used by John Milton in his sonnet, and you have to write a note on Milton's sonnet. And how this particular sonnet, when you will see the rhyme scheme of this sonnet. See the first line, youth, okay, we give A, then year we give B, okay, then career again, year in career, B, then come to this line, showeth, is like youth. So A, B, A. This is a sort of rhyme scheme which is being followed in this particular poem. Okay. Now, I have also given you notes on this particular poem. So the same things have been told, but some of the things, because which you find different, I'll just read out those things for you. So, on his arrival at the age of 23, it was most likely, I told you it was written in 1632, which was a crucial time in Milton's life just after his graduation from Cambridge. Milton, in this sonnet, acknowledges that he may not seem as mature as some of his contemporaries, but expresses a desire to use his talents well and his trust in God's will for him over time. So I told you, he again and again says, yes, be it less or more, or soon or slow, it shall be still in strictest measure even to that same lot, however mean or high, toward which time leads me, and the will of heaven. All is, if I have grace to use it so, as ever in my great taskmaster's eye. So just like on his blindness, this particular sonnet is also autobiographical in nature. So, on his arrival at the age of 23, it comments on how a man's life has gone by, what he has done and achieved, and what role God plays into the life of humanity. The poem shows the concerns that Milton had about his career when he was young and still hadn't chosen his own way in life. In his famous work of his, we don't see a celebration of a birthday, but a problem that the young gentleman faces as time passes by. The author uses many metaphors and symbols in order to give a more vivid image of his problem, and at the end he gives a solution to this problem, because he says the solution is being patient. And already having so much of patience, when at the age of 43 he became blind, and after becoming blind he wrote two great epics of English literature, that is Paradise Lost and Paradise Regained, in 14 volumes. So that is his masterpiece. Someone becoming blind and writing epics itself, see how much of inner strength. In this particular sonnet also, he is aspiring for the inner strength. He is not bothered about the external appearance. He is more bothered about his inner ripeness. Okay, so this is the time when he has to decide on his career. So this particular sonnet also reflects that how much labor it takes to become a great writer. So, also as time goes by, people ask them more often what they have done in their life. Milton places a tone of despair and hope all into one poem. And even many paradoxical images are there. Milton places a tone of despair and hope all into one poem. He's aware he hasn't done anything worthwhile in his life, yet but believes God has still given him time too. The theme of this particular sonnet is that time goes quickly, and if you leave your time into the hands of God, He will be on the right path in life. And you know, he was on the right path as he became the greatest Puritan poet. So, Milton worries that time has passed too quickly. He has been at Cambridge studying but has had little time to fulfill what he sees as his destiny. Milton is aware he is a talented poet, but instead of writing poetry, he has been studying. His This precipitates a crisis of faith for the poet, who worries he was wasted precious time. But maybe the poet's talent, which be it less or more, Milton line 9, will be less when he is mature. He worries, although he is still confident of his future. So the this particular sonnet, as I already told you, it is having the rhyme scheme A B B A C D D C. This is the rhyme style. So as I had read it out to you, so you have to follow this particular pattern. Okay, so the Petrarchan sonnet was used during this time period. A Petrarchan sonnet in divided into two distinct parts, as you have already been told. The first 8 lines, which are octave, and the remaining 6 lines are sestet. So the octave usually poses a problem. So here Milton poses a problem of his 23 years of his life, how soon they have passed, okay? And he personifies time. And the sestet usually provides a resolution to the problem, or it brings the matter to a conclusion, that he will have patience and he will wait as a writer. And certainly he became one of the greatest writers of the English literature. Toward which time leads me, and the will of heaven. God will lead him to what right and how he should live his life and use his talents to please God and get into heaven. On his arrival at the age of 23, Milton is both the writer behind the poem and the speaker of it. This shows the poem is about him and his experience with time. Now, just like someone stealing an object, the job is done quick and goes unnoticed till a later time, just like time creeps up on all of us. Milton goes on to say he hasn't been able to have any achievements yet. Next, Milton says, perhaps my semblance might deceive the truth that I to manhood am arrived so near, and inward ripeness doth much less appear. The poet remarks that he does not seem as old as he is, and the truth that he is practically a man. So he aspires for the inward ripeness. So, inward ripeness continues the natural metaphor of bud and grand 5. Blossom in line 4, the poet has more maturity or ripeness inside than he shows outside, although others are. To quote more timely, happy spirits endureth, Milton's line 8, meaning that they are happy being there. This is where the shift from octave to sestet occurs. He has started the problem mm, uh, that life has gone by so fast, he hasn't been able to get an achievement, and how he has matured more than anyone else. So, there is a depressing tone, because I told you, youth are much more concerned about their achievement as the time passes by now. So, when you come to the octave, so, where the octave found dissonance between his inner and outward states of maturity, the sestet answer is that time and the will of heaven will even things out according to plan. And we see that harmony at the end. So, the sestet and solution begins with him realizing that whether he achieves something in his life now or later, it will be measured in the strictest even. So, nothing. Noting the multiple puns used by Milton in the line measure could mean a musical measure on a line of words, even maybe an adjective modifying measure, or may lead the reader into the next line, even to that same lot. So, how rich it is with so many figures of speech and puns. Milton often places adjectives both before and after nouns, and he likewise often lets the word at the end of a line work in two different ways in each line. Reference encyclopedia.com. And student, this particular note, after the poem, it is also, I have taken the reference from study.com, so you can go to that site and have few more notes on different questions, etc., etc. So Milton then goes and ends the poem by saying, I have grace to use in my great taskmaster's eyes, unquote. That is line number 11 and 12. Just like God chose Milton's talent, so will his destiny be chosen. The theme Milton developed throughout the poem was one of time going by quickly and the crisis of faith. The hard decision of putting all of it in God, although this would be easy for Milton to do back in the times of the Puritans, because that is what they believed in, although this day and age would be a lot different. So, this precipitates a crisis of faith for the poet who worries he has wasted precious time, although he soon realizes God will lead him in the correct path, and that happens with time. And so here his patience, it pays. So coming to the end, Milton and his Puritan views allowed him to pick God easily, although someone like Robert Herrick, a cavalier in his days, would choose a carefree life, so they live while they can now. To quote, times still succeed the former, to unquote, Herrick to the virgins to make much of time, line number 12. Throughout the poem, Milton uses nature imagery, natural imagery he uses for metaphors, and produces an effective tone of despair and hope between the octave and sestet, also putting a theme of the how time passes very quickly and the crisis of faith. So students, as here you have this is something a very different note on anybody's birthday, because generally when we talk about birthdays, we talk about merriment, we talk about laughter, we talk about cakes, we talk about sweetness. So here, just like 21st century youngsters, so here the concern of the youth, that what have I achieved, 23 years of my life have passed, so what I have to do, so that remains. So I come to the end of this lecture, students. Tomorrow we shall continue with a different topic. Thank you for your patience.